Hi everyone, I'm Adam. I'm the guy behind the Moose books, and today we're going to be reading The Moose's Loose Tooth. I was inspired to write this story because Parker lost his first tooth. He actually let me pull it out. So this story is loosely based on his first loose tooth, and Parker's got something to show you guys.
You want to see my harder one or my looser one?
Here, go right up against the camera. There you go.
I know how to do this. I'm not even getting in the perfect spot.
Here, come over here and wiggle. Ooh, yeah. Let's lift your lip up so they can see. There you go. That's a wiggly one. Show them the other one. Oh boy. Alrighty.
That one's not as... The last one's not as...
Wiggly.
not as wiggly.
Should we read the story now?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna read the story.
Where's my fidget?
I don't know. Let's read the story. One morning, the moose woke up with a loose tooth. He decided to show everyone in town his loose tooth. The moose showed the shark his loose tooth, but the shark was unimpressed and said, "I lose teeth all the time, and more grow back." The dentist told the moose, "Once that tooth falls out, and the tooth fairy gives you money for it, don't waste it on candy. Otherwise, you'll get cavities in your teeth and be visiting my drill and me." The idea of meeting the tooth fairy excited the moose. Now he needed to find a way to pull his tooth out. Morgan said that she could use her superpowers and stare at the tooth to make it come out. When that didn't work, Morgan yelled at the tooth, but nothing happened. Parker told the moose he should eat an apple because the tooth will get stuck in the apple and come out. While Parker, Morgan, and the moose looked for an apple, they bumped into Annabelle. After hearing about the tooth, Annabelle said, "One time I was fighting with Parker and he kicked me in the mouth and made my tooth loose. Maybe if you fight with Parker, your loose tooth will come out." The sandpiper told the moose that he should wait for the tooth to fall out on its own. Soon, Kevin joined the party and said, "Hey, I can pull your loose tooth out with my pliers." Frightened, the moose took off running. Unfortunately, Kevin chased the moose. The moose hid inside a diner and bumped into his friend Bismarck. Bismarck was eating breakfast and asked the moose to join him. The moose explained his situation to Bismarck, and Bismarck said, "Why don't you tie a piece of string to your tooth and a doorknob? When you slam the door shut, your tooth should come out." While eating his food, the moose noticed something felt weird and quickly realized that he lost his tooth, but couldn't remember where. Bismarck said, "You had your tooth when you came in here, and now you don't. You must have swallowed it." The moose was shocked and scared. It was one thing to lose a tooth, but to eat it was another thing. He needed his tooth so he could cash it in with the tooth fairy. After some time passed, so did the tooth. Once the moose cleaned off his tooth, he put it under his pillow and patiently waited for the tooth fairy. Around midnight, the tooth fairy arrived and she was surprised to see the moose was wide awake. She said, "You're supposed to be sleeping when I arrive." The moose explained the situation to the tooth fairy and she seemed a bit disgusted. The tooth fairy commented, "After knowing where that tooth has been, I don't want it, though I'll still pay you for it. Since it's your first tooth, you should mount it on the wall." The next morning, the moose used the money from the tooth fairy to build a plaque for his first tooth. The end.